Yo, I'm real. Yeah, don't tap that off. That's important. Mildly. No idea if I can be heard or seen just yet. Oh, yep. I'm there. Alrighty. Oh, man. Probably raised the game by like 2%. Maybe not game, but volume. Alright, so. Just make sure everything's working. Damn near impossible to do so otherwise. W on God, for sure, for sure. I'm just messing around with the microphone for now. All right, is this a solid volume? I don't know. It won't let me. It won't show it otherwise, whether or not it's a decent volume or not. Hey, it won't tell me if it's a decent volume, so I have to like manually do it. It's kind of weird. It's a little weird. It's a little awkward to play with, but it. Oh, there we go. Yeah, that makes sense. Alrighty. So I know one guy wanted to get in. Yep, he wants in. Well, man, if you're gonna get in, you gotta have your microphone and camera on. I can't see you. There's no real point. These no mic, no.
Nah, my mic is working. What's going on, man? Hold on, let me. I'm gonna send you a message in the back chat. Hold on 1 second. Sorry about that.
All right, bet.
What's going on though?
Um, Nothing much. How about yourself?
Everything is good. I had a few questions. I saw you doing a Q&A and everything.
Shit, for sure.
All right, yeah. So yeah, basically, I don't know if you're completely familiar with are you familiar with the Manosphere, Kevin Samuels, or like any of those people?
So yeah, I definitely watched a few of Kevin Samuels videos. Definitely watched like some Andrew Tate. Um, didn't really realize that I was like uh a thing in that until after I learned that the video went viral, and then I saw that a bunch of people were talking about me being in that manosphere and all of that. I had to do a little bit of research on it. I'm still not 100% sure what it's about, but I am aware of it. Yeah.
Okay, are you familiar with the term high value man that Kevin Samuels used to use?
Yes, I am familiar with the term high value man.
Okay, okay. Are you familiar with the term like the Pookie and Ray Ray or the educated lame or anything like that?
Wasn't I'm actually not too sure about that. I kind of have like a guess of what it could mean, but I don't have like a strict definition of what that would be.
Okay, because pretty much what's been going on in the space is basically like your conversation with Jalea or the Hawks dancer in Atlanta and everything. Pretty much they're saying like you were potentially like a high value man. You know, you got a career ahead of you. You have like martial arts skills. Pretty much like you read books, educated, all these different things, and
Always
they're
have a book
saying,
next to me.
"Oh, exactly, yeah, you pulling out the books. That's what's up, man." Um, but like they pretty much saying she was missing out by turning you down, and they have this term called like the Pookie and Ray Ray, which is the thugs and the
Right.
educated lames, which is like people who read books, and they say that they say a lot of times like black women or women in different environments, they overlook the educated lame and they pick the Pookie and Ray Ray. So basically, they was trying to say like you the high value, you potentially a high value man, and like oh like oh this guy he's the educated he's the educated lame. That's how she views you. So a lot of people were basically like attacking her. But then here go the thing. It's also well, how do you feel about that before I say the other side?
I mean, like I said when I talked to her the second time on the on Melly Monaco's live,
Yeah.
um, I talked to her. You know, at the time when I went onto the show, I wasn't like being serious about what was going on, so I wasn't able to like show any personality because I was just trying to like get on and off the show as quick as possible.
Hmm.
But when I talked to her the second time, I was able to actually like be myself and kind of just be like a little bit more
Yeah, some get back. Yeah, you saw it
a
was
little
like
bit
more
more flow.
personality. It was
Yeah,
like getting to get some jabs. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. I saw
Um,
that. Yeah.
I didn't like I said I didn't really I don't take offense to the fact of how she portrayed the original way that I came off, because the original way that I came off wasn't me. It was just something that I was doing at the time because I had lost a bet, as
Hmm.
previously stated. Um, but it's I do feel some kind of a way about um, like like I said, I felt some kind of way
The
about
quick
her trying
rejection.
to combat my, not the rejection, but her trying to combat my me studying nuclear physics with her studying nursing, which was like they're not very comparable, or at least I don't think they're comparable.
Hmm. Do you think like when it comes to like a certain demographic of women, like they're more so trying to compete with men than like actually trying to be like submissive or anything, or do you think?
I feel as though the modern woman
Hmm.
attempts to compete with men because they want to be independent, despite whatever dependencies that they actually might have.
Hmm.
They try to portray themselves as independent, and thus they try to compete with men instead of trying to work with them.
Hmm. Hmm. Do you think that like that has like a negative effect long term, like negative effect?
I believe it has a negative effect on this generation of women because with so many women and young men going onto the internet and practically being raised by the internet, you have to understand that these girls are all they know is going to be independent, you don't need a man, and then at the end of the day, once they actually get to adulthood, once they actually realize how difficult it is actually being self-sufficient, they're going to still have that ideology of I don't need a man, I'm independent, but they're going to be stuck with the reality of the situation that it is difficult to live on your own, especially in a society that a lot of the jobs that do pay more are either catered physically towards men, like hard laboring jobs,
Hmm.
or they're catered to like doing things that might not seem very respectable that men also do, like garbage workers get paid a lot of money, um,
Hmm.
dump people at the dump, stuff like that. A lot of these jobs that actually do pay a decent amount, a lot of men are taking them because women, when they go and take a job, they want an easy job that pays a good amount. They don't actually
Hmm.
they're not actually caring about how difficult it is to actually get there. At least a lot of modern women, a lot of younger modern women today. I don't speak for the generation before them because I do actually see a lot of the older women going out and pursuing higher education, higher jobs, because that was the generation that actually pushed for for women actually being able to be self-sufficient. The issue with that ideology of women being self-sufficient is that now women are latching on to not the reality of self-sufficiency, but the notion of self-sufficiency without the actual sustenance of how to be self-sufficient.
Okay, okay. Well, before I get into my next question, I want to ask you the question before that. Well, marriages are declining and whatnot. So if they're seeing like the modern woman, like you said, if they're seeing that it's harder once they get out into the real world, like let's say they have kids, they have to raise them on their own, and the stuff gets harder. Why do you think they still choose to strive to be independent? Why do you think they're so they aim for that?
Because to be independent is to be free from dependency, right? Like that's a solid definition for the word independent.
Hmm.
A lot of women don't want to feel like they need to rely on something, but the issue is they see men as something to rely on instead of something to work with.
Mm.
They take the notion of, well, if I do get a man, that just makes me another one of these girls that needs their man. That's not necessarily the case of a marriage. A marriage, the whole point behind it is two people working together. But a lot of the times we see this where if a girl is getting married, they believe that, like, well, that's it for them. They can't go out and do anything anymore. Like, that's, they have to sit behind and, you know, cater to their spouse, which is the case, but that's an agreement between the two of you that you're going to look out and support each other. A lot of younger women today don't necessarily give a damn about that idea. Right
Hmm.
now, all that's in their focus is trying to look good for themselves. They don't care about looking good for their partner or looking good for their spouse. And you'll see that a lot with them, even when they have a partner or even when they have a spouse. They'll be anytime they're on social media, the social media post will be about them and not about them and their spouse. It won't be couple posting. It'll be, for sure, it's going to end up being posts about themselves. A lot of the times you will see women focus more on themselves, especially when they're advertising themselves on social media, for sure. Um,
Hmm.
that's just the way it is.
So basically, like they view it as like instead of working with a man, they view it as servitude, and they rather be free. Basically, that's
They
what
would
it's.
rather they would rather feel like they are not being held down.
Hmm. Hmm. Do you think that's like marketing helps play a part in that? Like it's like marketed to them, or
It is. It definitely is, especially with, like I said, the generation that came before my generation actually took the time to build self sufficiency. This generation hasn't done that yet because we're still young. So they have the notion, right? The conceptualization of the self sufficiency, but they don't understand what it actually takes to be self sufficient. They just want that self sufficiency without having to earn it. And that's not just a problem with just women in my generation. It's definitely a problem with the men too. A lot of us are looking for quick and easy ways to get to where we want without actually putting the work in, which is why someone like me might even be considered to be a potential high value man. I don't even see myself as all that above average. I just actually put in some effort while I was in high school and I got what I wanted out of it now.
all right. So yeah, a lot of people was wondering. You said you lost the bet. Some people were saying that that's something maybe you came up with, but then there's some people saying like you're not really 19. Like you was 20. You said you was 27. Like what? So what's your real age? Like what's
I am 4 days from being 19.
4 days? Oh, okay, man.
Mhm.
Congratulations, man. Happy birthday, man. That's what's up, man.
Thank you.
It's a good
Yeah,
age,
no.
man.
So the reason, let me reiterate this. The reason why I said I was 27 on the Pineapple Show when I originally went on that show was because the girl that was on it at the time had an age limit to talk to her. You had to be like 25 or something, and I didn't want to say 25 because that's stupid. I'd get pineappled immediately. So I said 27
Mm.
because that's just an easy answer. I wasn't being deceptive for the sake of being deceptive. I just, in order to fulfill the bet, I had to be on there for a certain amount of time. So I said I was 27 and went with it. That's all it
Mm.
was.
Okay, okay. And another thing, yeah, that brings me to the other question. With her, like, so another disagreement in the space, like with the manosphere and everything, they will basically like people believe, like how I said earlier, they were looking at it like you're the prize, like you the high value man. She's losing out. She's delusional for pretty much rejecting you. Now, some people say, since she got a dance studio, she in nursing, like she Atlanta professional dancer. Some people saying that she actually has the options. Like she got a lot of options. Like when she could have got, she can get anybody. She's around NBA players. What do you think about that?
As a young woman, you are guaranteed options. That's the difference between why we consider high value men and these women not high value women. If
Hmm.
every girl that at that age, every girl at 25 has options, having options doesn't make you high value. That's just average value. As a
Mm,
guy at 19, normal guys at 19, we're not having options.
mm,
We're going to the store, we're busting our ass trying to eat good, trying to take care of ourselves, trying to bulk up, trying to study, trying to get an education. And that at the end of that line, at the end of that line, might make you high value. Might. These girls have what we don't have, and that's if they all have the same thing, they're not like that doesn't make them high value. That's just the average. The
hmm.
national average is a 100 on a test. You getting a 100 doesn't make you smart. Makes
I
you
see what you're saying.
average.
I see what you're saying. So let's say like, so let's say she a young woman, because you said a young woman, you're gonna have options. Let's say she like a big chick, like she like real heavy, like what I'm saying. Like she still got options too. Like,
Yeah, no, they
yeah,
do.
yeah.
They definitely do. There are guys that would like heavier set women for
I
sure.
agree. And that's one thing in this space. Like it's a lot of guys out there that believe if let's say she a young woman, like let's say she's big, she just doesn't have no options. Like with the internet, it's
Nope,
not somebody out there.
that's not even remotely the case. You could,
Hmm.
and I've said it before that I believe if you are morbidly obese, you should put in the effort to improve yourself and to lose that weight. So I am very very harsh with the way I describe overweight people because I know for a fact that it's difficult to lose a weight. Yes, but that's what's going to separate the high value from the average value from the low value is putting in effort in order to attain what you want.
Hmm.
So I've used words like just straight up fat in order to describe heavier set people.
Hmm.
It is important that you make an attempt to better yourself, but at the end of the day, for women, especially for women, being overweight is not an instantaneous lack of options for them, especially if they're younger. If they're younger and they're a little bit overweight, you could even be 100 pounds overweight. If you're like 24, you have options. That's just the truth. You have options. It takes a
Hmm.
lot for a lady to not have any options at
Hmm.
all.
Hmm. Why do you think some guys think they don't have options because of the weight? Why do you think some guys think that?
A lot of guys, and I'll be honest with this one, a lot of guys will project the issues that we have as men onto women. So a lot of us will take a look at ourselves, and if we're heavy set, we're just like, well, if I don't have options, and it's because I'm heavy set, that just means everyone who's heavy set doesn't have options. But that's not necessarily the case. There is a strict divide between women and men on how they're valued. A
Hmm.
female who is 250 pounds is valued way over a male who is 250 pounds. It's
Hmm.
just the case.
Because some guys think like they see a big girl, they like, oh, I don't want to be seen in public with her. Like I'm just going like behind the scenes, that late night creep or something like that.
Some people do that too. Some people have guilty pleasures. That's just a
Hmm.
preference, in my opinion.
Exactly, exactly. So, well, you don't have to answer this, but as far as like your background, like some people said you had like you kind of sound like Carlton Banks. Are you familiar with that? Carlton Banks, Fresh Prince.
No, I don't know who that is.
Oh, okay. It's like pretty much some people were saying like basically. Are you familiar with the term whitewashed?
A little bit. I kind of understand what it means, but not truly.
Okay, because like there's a lot of people saying like like they see your race, they think you're black. I don't know your actual like race ethnicity, but
I am a like 52 48 split between African and Northern European.
Northern European. Okay. Okay. Yeah, because some people saying like the accent, like the cadence in the voice. They were saying it's
Yeah,
like yeah,
I don't have a very I have a very like I've been told that I speak very properly is what I get
proper.
told
Yeah,
quite often.
proper. Yeah, there's some people saying like they was like wondering. It was like because you had mentioned you was from Texas. It was like was he from the hood or did he grow up in the suburbs? Like they
I
didn't know.
did
They were
grow
trying to
up
figure.
I did grow up in the suburbs. I grew up right around Houston, but not in Houston.
Okay. 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 Yeah, it's a real big city. Real big city. Yeah, but yeah, I was just trying to like, get some more information because yeah,
Yeah,
the Pookie and Ray Ray and the whole like the educated lane, that's something that's been going on in the space for a long time.
of
Uh,
course.
yeah, they believe like the educated lanes are overlooked for the thugs, and they think that's with every case, you know, and everything. So
Right.
yeah, but that's what's up, man. Sound like you doing your thing, man. Are you actually like going to school or?
Yeah. No, I'm going to the University of Houston in order to do what I need to do in order to commission. So studying ROTC, whatnot.
ROTC. Okay.
And then while I do that, I'm using my certification in pharmacy to get an operations manager position so that I'm making enough money to go to school and whatnot.
Oh yeah, that's good. Yeah, especially I
School,
mean at
rent,
your age, at
etc.
18, that's sound like so you know exactly what you're doing and everything. So what you trying to do as far as like on YouTube? I mean, I was trying to communicate to you earlier. It's a lot of people like still discussing this particular topic, because this is something that's been going on in the space. So it kind of happened at the right time. Your interview or
Right.
the whole match you're making. So have you thought about like like going on a tour maybe like or like showing up different places because I'm pretty sure there's a lot of people that want to speak to you.
Well, I'm definitely going to be going on some more channels to be interviewed. I have those
Hmm.
set up. I'm going to be on my channel a lot as well. So if anyone wants to talk to me, I mean, I'm going to be doing this every so often. Um, Outside of that, what my goals for YouTube are is just to try and see if I can talk to people and help them, try to improve their lives, whether that be relationship or not. I know like the big thing right now that people are doing is like trying to like give people relationship advice, but I could honestly care less about that rather than just improving people's lives as a whole, especially men. I see a lot of men right now struggling. Like I'm 18 and I see a lot of people being like, he's accomplished so much at 18, which to
Hmm.
me, I mean, it just seems like an average amount. So I want to be able to help them to get to, you know, somewhere that they want to be because to me, this isn't anything. I want
Hmm.
so much more than what I have now. So to see someone who's like 30 say that I'm accomplishing so much, it's it makes me feel like there's so much more that we as men could be doing if we're taking like inspiration from people that are younger than us. So I want to help people get to a place that they want to be so that way they can inspire other people as well. So that's just kind of what I'm doing right now.
All right, all right, yeah. So I was gonna say like it's a lot of people like as far as like with college and it's a lot of people in the space they believe like certifications are the way to go and some people they believe college is the way to go and different things like that and everything. So I guess
Um,
go ahead.
all I would really say to that is that college and certifications are only the way to go if what you want to do requires a college degree or a certification. If what you want to do doesn't require either of those, then you don't need to go to college or get a certification. It's really about what you want to do, that it's what you want to do first, and then secondly what it takes to do what you want to do. Those two things are how you're going to get to where you want to be. It has nothing to
Hmm.
do with inherently going to college or inherently getting a certification. You can't argue that a certification is better than a degree or a degree is better than a certification because it
Hmm.
depends on what job you're going for requires what document to have in your possession.
So if somebody were to like say they wanted to start a business,
Mm.
like should they go to college for business? Do you think like if they say they just wanted to start a business that
Realistically, if it depends on the type of business. If you're going to start a business like Walmart, you wouldn't need a degree for that.
hmm
If you were going to start a business for therapy, yeah, you would need a degree if you were going to be the one giving therapy. So once again,
hmm
it really does depend. It depends on what they want to do. I know my sister started a business as a cosmetologist. She got a certification in cosmetology and she has her own salon now. So it really just depends on what kind of business you want to set up because not
hmm
everything needs a document, but some things do.
Like certain like yeah, if you want to be a doctor,
Yeah, if
to
you're if
have a
you're
business.
starting a hospital, like I would hope, you know,
Some hospital management, maybe like learn a practice, learn, open a practice and whatnot. So
right.
you said a sister. How many siblings do you have? You got a you want?
I have four older siblings. They're all sisters, and I have one younger brother.
Okay, and where are you? Are you you
I
like the
am the
old
second youngest.
second youngest? Oh, that what's up,
Yeah.
man. You got the sisters, man. That's you looking out for the sisters. Okay, well that's what's up, man. Well, yeah, I got a channel on here, man. I just started a channel as well. For like game, I pretty much talk about game on my channel, like relationships. I talk about some black stuff too, different issues and or just men issues, some women stuff too. Coming soon, but yeah, I just wanted to stop by, man. Because you said you was going live, and I pretty much asked you a few questions. See what's going on, man. But I'm gonna go ahead and drop down now and head
Yeah, not a
out.
problem.
But yeah, definitely yeah, stay in touch, man. I'm gonna go ahead and subscribe and everything. Talk to you on the back end, man. But peace, man.
All right. Have a good evening.
Yeah.
All right. I'm not so sure what else I want to talk about, but just put the link in chat there. So if anybody else wants to talk, I guess I did have a few things I wanted to talk about today. A really big thing that I saw was kind of the disparagement in how we treat um, like how would I explain this? It's kind of like domestic verbal abuse, I would say, or just like domestic manipulation. We'll use the term manipulation. There was a case of a man who his girlfriend hadn't slept with him in 2.5 months, and it was because of the fact that she was cheating on him. So what she decided to do was to have her boyfriend go on to Kendra G's dating show and explain the situation himself. So, not only has this guy not gotten any for 2.5 months from his girlfriend, but she was also cheating on him, and she forced him to humiliate himself online in front of dozens of thousands of people because she felt like it was something that he did wrong. Now, I don't know about you guys, but obviously, I wouldn't say it's the guy's fault if he's the one being cheated on and magically he hasn't gotten any from you in 2.5 months. I wouldn't necessarily say that's his fault, or I wouldn't say that's his fault at all. So the real issue I have with it is the fact that we always see men get in trouble for talking down to their partners or making the female look or sound or feel like they were at fault for something. But whenever a female is talking to a man, it's okay for them to make us feel like we were the ones that did something wrong, or to make it feel like even if it's something that doesn't involve him, that it's their fault. Which I thought wasn't okay. We actually did make a video on it today. It's really long though, so it's taking a while to process, and then we also have to get it edited and whatnot. So that should drop by Friday. Not I don't have like a specific time for it, but I'll get that out soon. Another thing that I wanted to talk about was kind of the big issue that the manosphere is having right now, and that would be the kind of like oversetting of standards with women. And we're gonna talk. I'm gonna bring some women on to talk to them about it. Um, we have like, for example, the issue with let me turn this camera. The issue with this one girl who was 48 years old, who said she wants a man who is 6 feet tall, made over six figures, and had a 6 inches down below. Now, if you're 48, if you're a 48-year-old woman and you don't have any money for yourself, and your looks are declining because you're getting on in age, and on top of that, you're demanding things from this woman, or this you're demanding things from this man. Why would a 6 foot tall man with six figures, who knows he's not lacking in a sexual area, why would that man take the time out of his day to talk to you? To even, why would he even give you the time of day to entertain the prospect of him wasting his money on you? It's just, it's dumb. It's super dumb, and it's obvious that she didn't think it through when she was saying this. But they go on, these, here's the funny part, these women go live in front of thousands of people and say not only how big of hypocrites they are, but they also say, like, they basically just expose themselves for having way higher standards than any man would have, and then blame us for not meeting their standards. It's dumb as hell. But anyways, that's all I really wanted to talk about today. Um, Hopefully we can get some more people on next time, make this a little bit longer, get some more topics out, some more viewpoints. But until then, man, peace out, guys.